thing that over the years has really helped me overlook the bad things in life, and I think it's about time that I shared this with you. I think I'm about to change your goddamn life. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Izzy, and this is the Izzy Nova Show. A long time ago, I used to work with a guy named Brad. This is Brad. Well, to be honest, this is not Brad. This is a picture I looked up on the internet, and I think this picture really encapsulates who Brad was to me. He was this older guy. He was our supervisor, but you'd never know because he was a cool guy. He was not the kind of boss that's always on everybody's case. People would do their work when he was around, but he wasn't on anybody's case about it. It didn't seem like he needed to be, because he was one of those guys that he's so cool that he just leads by example. He was a good leader. And Brad had a very peculiar way to deal with the curveballs that life threw his way. Whenever things didn't quite go his way, he'd always say the same thing. He'd say that so much that this became kind of his catchphrase. That's a crock of shit. Actually, I'm not doing it justice. It'd be more like, that's a crock of shit. There's that shit. You need to throw that in there. It doesn't work otherwise. He'd always bust that out at any point. The coffee shop that he goes to didn't have his favorite coffee or whatever. That's a crock of shit. There was a schedule change that he wasn't really a fan of. A crock of shit. His favorite team lost last night. Oh, that was multiple crocks of shit peppered throughout the daily conversations he'd have around the office. It got to the point that I didn't even understand what that word meant anymore. By the way, that's called semantic satiation. Look that shit up. You're gonna learn something. You're gonna learn a lot of things today. What even is a crock of shit? I mean, according to Brad, everything, but what really is that? I didn't even know. It's a pan, a kind of pot, I think? What do you even mean by that? A crock of shit. Is that a pot full of shit? That's how he sees the bad situations that happen to him? Like, here it is, a pot full of shit? Or does he mean a crock literally made out of shit? It doesn't even make sense anymore. I don't even know why that amused me so much. I think it's because we worked at a very professional setting, and this guy is supposed to be a figure of authority, and he's constantly cursing around the office. Crock of shit this and crock of shit that, and for some reason after all these years that stuck with me. Every time there's a bad situation at work or in personal relationships or whatever, somebody cuts me off in traffic, no matter what it is, there's a little corner of my mind where Brad lives, and when these things happen, he pops up and he says, that's a crock of shit, and I can't help but laugh every time I remember his face, the expression he would make, the tone of his voice, and how different the situations were. When something was really terrible, he'd say that was a crock of shit. And when something was a minor inconvenience, that was also a crock of shit. Which means these things are pretty much equal. I think that level playing field makes it so bad things don't seem so bad anymore. It worked. It worked for me anyway. I hope it works for you. That's a crock of shit. Try saying that. Try saying that out loud right now. That's a crock of shit. Don't say that to your boss. Probably will not work very well. This video will change your life for the worse if you do that. Don't say I didn't warn you. But try saying that next time something bad happens to you. Allow Brad into your mind with his wisdom to point at things and say that or this person or whoever, this show on TV, your team, your job, that's a crock of shit. It's liberating. Honestly, try it. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. I'm Izzy and I'm done. By the way, I decided to go to VidCon next year. For those who don't know, VidCon is a convention centered around videos. Fuck, what the fuck just fell into my eye? What? Crock of shit! I feel better. Let's try that again. For those who don't know, VidCon is a YouTube-centered convention that happens in June in Anaheim, California. I think I'm pronouncing that right. This is my first ever YouTube-type convention, so I'm very excited to go. I hope it's not a crock of shit.